Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Here is everything I watched in April of 2025. I watched When the Wind Blows. This is quite the fascinating film. It's about this elderly couple who survived the initial blast of a nuclear bomb and are just like living in the fallout. It's pretty insane. They like the couple, they're just this old British couple who are like naive and they're kind of always on the positive side of things. And at the start, like it's quite fun and it's a bit silly. And like you're pretty happy throughout, but you know what's coming. And then obviously as it goes on, I feel like you could guess that their sort of attitude just feels more and more harrowing as they just it's just so awful. I mean, it really just displays how terrible nuclear warfare is and nuclear fallouts and all that. It's a very like grim reality, and this film does a really great job at just displaying that. The animation is also just pretty cool. A lot of it is just 2D animated, but then it looks like they made little like miniature sets and used a little bit of like stop motion, which was then like overlaid with the 2D characters. So I don't know, that was pretty cool to see. But other than that, this film it was kind of miserable to watch, but I mean that's exactly what it meant to be. Then I watched Flow. There has been like so much hype around this movie. I'm kind of a bit late to the party on this. And I'm honestly feeling kind of mixed on it. Overall, the film was like really beautiful and really just like a good wholesome time. But there were just other things that, I don't know, it kept me from enjoying it as much as I really wanted to. I didn't feel as immersed in this movie as I feel like I really should have been. I honestly struggle with feeling like truly immersed within the world of a movie or a book or a game or whatever. But for whatever reason, this case in particular, I really struggled. Part of that is my own fault. I kept getting distracted. I had this thought throughout the entire movie. I'm like, this looks like a video game or like a video game trailer or something. And like, that's not bad or anything, but that was just a thought I had throughout the entire movie. I was like, just the environments, they look like it's like in a video game where whenever there's nature environments, they always want it to be like, oh, it's a bit realistic, but they like to have it a bit more saturated, a bit brighter. The colors are a bit more vibrant, so it's not completely realistic. And that's what this entire film looked like. Also, just like the cell shading art style just looks like a lot of video games. It's really dumb, but it like that just distracted me the whole time. I guess one thing that it could have done better that is like an actual critique for me is that I wish it was just a bit more interesting of an art style and animation and everything, because it's really high quality and it's really well made, but it's like it's kind of plain in terms of style and like how interesting it is. And for whatever reason, for me personally, like I just seem to care way more if something looks interesting rather than looking good. So I don't know. But other than that, it is still just like a good, wholesome, fun movie. I watched Watership Down. It's cool to go back to one of these old animated movies just because I feel like most like animated films from that era, like people usually just watch the old Disney movies. Like you don't really watch these other animated films, and this one was quite good. It was very much like a fable in a sense. I know it's based on like a book, and so I don't know how it's like in that, but in this it's it's animal characters and everything, and there's very much themes of like freedom and stuff like that. It's pretty solid. I think it's a very fun movie. It's not something I got too terribly invested in. As I mentioned, it's like a fable. Like you're not reading a fable for like the deep characters and stuff like that. It just kind of has some overall lessons and ideas it's portraying, and I do think it does it quite well. Then I watched 8.5, which I've been meaning to watch for quite some time now. I finally got around to it, and it is pretty crazy. It's kind of like all over the place and really like scattered brain, but it's very purposeful in that. It's about a film director who is struggling to really put together his film or really just know what to do with it. Like he is just like, it's just about like writer's block, I guess, or just creative block in general, where he's just stuck and he has like random ideas where he's not sure how to implement them, and he's just confused, and the film as a whole really reflects that. It's quite fun. It is labeled as a comedy, and it kind of is. Like, there's some funny moments, but then other times that you are just watching stuff unfold and you're just generally enjoying it. It's not like a dreary film by any means. It's pretty fun, lighthearted, and I don't know, like it's a one that I still have a hard time figuring out how I feel. Overall, I do think it was quite good. Like, there was some other stuff that was good, like, camera work and stuff, and overall cinematography. The scenes, because they were so scattered, like, there were some that I was interested in, and others where I was just be like, okay, what are we doing now? Like, I don't really care about this. But yeah, it is fascinating. You will only really, you can't get a sense from me just talking about it. You have to watch it for yourself. I then watched Wolfwalkers, which was just so good. It's just a beautiful, charming little film. Very refreshing animation. It's very just completely authentic 2D animation, and it's just so cool to see that. I had seen another movie by Tom Moore, the director of this movie. I'd seen Song of the Sea, and that was also great. I watched that a little while back. I'm excited to see more stuff from him. I know he has another movie that I have not watched, but man, his stuff is just so cool to see. You don't really see traditional 2D animation done much anymore, and it's just he's got a unique style and everything, and the stories are like very heartwarming, while also a bit heart crushing at times. It kind of reminds me of some really good like Pixar movies, that type of stuff. But 2D animation, so it's always cool to see people like this who are just they're really just doing what they want, and it feels like there's some real passion and just love for animation behind it. I also watched the animated Hobbit movie, the animated Lord of the Rings, and the animated Return of the King. I'm just kind of going through all these because I watched these on some plane rides, just because I was like, I'm just curious about these. They kind of fascinate me. I'm a fan of Lord of the Rings, so I figured it'd be interesting to just see what they are. And yeah, they're interesting watches. I wouldn't say they're super good, but they're kind of charming. They're not all made by the same company, I should say. But like the original Hobbit, I thought that was really fascinating because it really leaned into like the folk tale or fairy tale type aesthetic that you kind of see. It's is a bit more in the original book than in the Lord of the Rings books, so that was kind of interesting. The animated movies, it's just really fascinating to see them using rotoscope, because I don't actually think I've seen like a full feature film that's utilized that other than these movies, unless I'm forgetting something. But yeah, they're very like interesting movies. Again, they're not some I'm like you have to see or that they're super great, but if you've enjoyed Lord of the Rings, they're really cool to see. And there you have it. That's everything I watched this month. You can tell me your thoughts on any of these movies down in the comments. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.